Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Goonies 3, a new twist on an old friend. We're coming in hot with a return to our original three-color origins. We've lost the ability to give our Robot Overlords haste and trample, but we've added a way to generate more robot men and dish out damages. We've kept some of the core cards from the original version, as well as adding in a card that helps us get out our factory outlets or other artifacts we want to have on board. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of 3 steps ahead, the ever-present utility knife in our synthesizer arsenal. It can counter, copy an artifact, or help us out by letting us dig through our deck. We're usually firing off the copy ability, but with enough mana, we can use multiple modes. A counter is always good, especially if it's to protect the board we've been building up all game long. Fountainport Bell is our weapon against shuffler specials. It can come down for 1 mana and fetch out a land for us. And in the late game, it can draw us a card for only a 2 mana investment. Also, we wanted a 1 mana artifact to be able to use it to chain up into higher casting cost artifacts. Legion Extruder is 1/2 of the manufacturing combo. With manufacturing in the deck, it makes sense to bring this in and trade in our munitions for 3/3 robot men. Sure, they don't grow like our Robot Overlords, but what they lack in size they can make up for in numbers. And the more of them we have, the bigger our Robot Overlords will be. As a bonus, we get to hit something for 2 damage when it enters play, so we might be able to snipe an enemy, or simply shoot the pair at the opponent's face. Weapons manufacturing is the other half of our combo. When we have an artifact, enter play that is not a token, we'll get a munitions that will dish out a pair of damages to any target when the munitions leaves the battlefield. Naturally, we want to sacrifice the tokens to make 3/3 men with the extruder, or we can sacrifice them to a bay to fetch out a 1 mana artifact. With the majority of our deck being artifacts, we should be able to trigger this enough times to make a decent amount of munitions. Perilous Snare is a fantastic removal artifact. When it enters, we can exile any non-land permanent an opponent controls. We can nail enemy men or annoying permanents that we want gone. It does have start your engines, so we can zoom, and when we hit max speed, we can tap the snare and add a +1/+1 counter to one of our men. Repurposing Bay is an artifact we haven't used all that much since I usually don't have a difficult time finding a factory outlet. But in this case, we're using it as a way of being able to sacrifice munitions tokens. And as a bonus, it will let us find and get our factories in play for cheap. Note that the manufacturing triggers on our artifacts entering play not being cast, so fetching out artifacts will trigger any manufacturings we have in play. The synthesizer is our key card. We want to get a factory in play and trigger it as often as possible to build up an army of Robot Overlords. Prices will be slashed, and as always, delivery will be free. We save the opponent some of their hard-earned cash. We're so nice. As a bonus, the synthesizer will give us a scry 2 when it enters play to help fuel a chain of artifacts that trigger our factory and generate our Robot Overlords. The Helm is a powerful companion to our factory outlet. It will trigger any synthesizers we have in play when it enters, then it can make a token copy of any token artifact we have in play. And when we have a token artifact enter play, we get a map token as well. Getting a map token with every artifact token we generate is a great way to boost the stats of our Robot Overlords. United Battlefront is a powerful sorcery that can help us drop down a pair of permanents for the low price of only 4 mana. We can find factories with it, as well as a manufacturing to boost our board presence and damage output. With all the fetching and finding, we should be able to set up our board to bring in plenty of AI men. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic land. 4 Sunbillow Verge, the plains that becomes a Boros dual when we have a mountain or plains in play. 4 Meticulous Archive, the Azorius Surveil land. 4 Floodfarm Verge, the plains that becomes an Azorius dual when we have a plains or island in play. 2 mountain, 4 island, and 3 plains. Playing the deck is slightly more complicated than most other synthesizer decks. There are often more decision points when it comes to playing out lands, as well as early plays. Often we want to get set up with an artifact or 2 before we drop in a factory. And early manufacturing does help quite a bit, as we can get the benefit of plenty of munitions tokens from the artifacts we'll be dropping as the game progresses. The majority of our cards are 3 mana or less. Only the Battlefront and the copy ability on 3 steps ahead are 4 mana, so everything should start to happen early. The key is still getting a factory in play, so when you get the chance, go for a synthesizer and start building up a team of Robot Overlords. With a Helm in play, a copy of a snare can give us endless removals, or even better, we can copy a factory and make a new synthesizer every time we untap. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Vinegar Tramp. No, wait, it's Stamp. Like he's gonna go postal. No need to rage, bro. Delivery is always free. We're kicking things off with an auto keep. This is a dream hand. Keep your pants. On. Our Surveil land shows us another Surveil land. We are gonna want to get to 5 mana at the very least. Our Surveil land shows us land 5 on top. What did we say about a 5th land? That's right, we wants it. Precious. They throw down a Brazen Collector. It's a cute little trash panda. Cover your trash bins before this guy gets down. We hit 3 mana and it's time for our factory outlet. Bro is worried about postage, but we send it for free. And straight to the face. On top we have double weapons manufacturing. We haven't drawn any red mana and 2 might be 1 too many. We'll send 1 on down, but keep 1 just in case. They send it, and not only do they get the hit, they also get a free red mana to use after damages. And they use that to drop in a trash tactician. Their team has doubled in size now. As is the case when we hit 4 mana and we have a 3 steps ahead, we'll pass the turn. Your go, my bro. The tactician gives them a pair of free manas. That'll make sure their team can keep growing. And there's a curator coming on down. No need to counter it. Our play will be a surprise synthesizer. They send it, and now is when we strike. 1 token factory coming right up. This will let us slash prices in half. We're gonna save you some serious cash, bro. On top, we have another factory outlet and a land. We'll ship the land, but more assembly lines is always welcome. We'll block the collector. He can go collect himself a coffin. The reason we wanted to get to 5 mana was to be able to play out the Helm and have mana to activate it. With a token factory on board, price slashing will skyrocket. They're having their moment of doubt and pain. Thanks to the map tokens, our Robot Overlords get huge fast. We'll return fire and send it. Delivery is free, bro. No need for stamps. They don't bother blocking and take the hit. That's an 8 spot. Damages, bro. Damages. They play out a Gear Hulk. It's so big, our Robot Overlords will definitely feel it when they run it over. The rest of their team gets pumped, but they still look rather puny. They follow up with a familiar, but that's just another road bump. It's amazing, but they send it. Clearly they thought at least a couple of their men would get through, but we have a Helm activation that will copy our token fact. Surprise, sucka. You're getting hit hard on the way back. They poop it and scoop it. GG's. Robot Overlord cheese. This is Deacon Otto. He's here to fix your car at reduced prices. We get a Shuffler special with plenty of goodies. We do have a Surveil land that can help us find land number 3. And being on the draw will help as well. Keep your hopes up. We draw a 3rd land right away, which is a huge relief. Our Surveil land shows us a factory on top, and we'll keep it. They play out a Quint's Insight. It's the death of 1,000 stings for the opponent. A classic strategy as old as MTG. We'll play out the Extruder. There's nothing to sacrifice at the moment, but it is an artifact that counts towards the stats of our Robot Overlords. All hail our AI men. Wait, is this a Grixis Reanimator Tron? They play out a Monument with all the card tossing they'll get to do. That should come in handy. We draw manufacturing, which is solid. But this is the turn for our factory. On top we have a snare and a land. Let's take the island first, and we'll be able to use the 3 steps ahead to make a surprise synthesizer. They play out a Kiora. Her butt is so big it raises the tide. On the bright side, it doesn't look like they have any counters. They tap out for a Gobin. The little fella is unblockable. The race will be on. Their monument sinks our life total to 14, but luckily we have Robot Overlords on the way. They send it, and once again, that's our time to strike. One surprise factory coming up. On top we have a snare and a bell. We'll ship the bell, but the snare could be huge for us. Our Robot Overlord will block their Kiora and send her to Davy Jones' locker. They hit us with a betrayal to snipe our Robot Overlord. That's rather strategic. But there will be more. They drop in a fear of missing out. Wizards loves it when MTG players have this fear. Love it. It's time for our snare to come in, and we'll be able to cage their monument. They drop in a removal saga. One of our Robot Overlords will get dusted. We'll recycle the parts. They follow up with a second removal to take out our last AI. I was not counting on that, but there will be more. We draw a Battlefront and we'll play it out. A 5th land would have been great, but this will do. There's a lot of stuff we'd like to have, but we can only pick 2. The Extruder would be great, but let's take the Factory and the Helm. On top, we have a pair of lands. We'll ship the Surveil land, but a 5th land will let us play out a factory and make a copy of the token synthesizer. They play out another monument, but unfortunately they're about to get us with their unblockable. It'll be able to attack twice thanks to the fear. We snared the wrong thing. Lesson learned, and we'll know what to snipe next time. GG's, opponent. You've done what most can't. This is Colonel TX from Apartment 45. He likes broken keyboards and random capitalization. We get a 3-lander with an excellent mix of cards. A factory is always good with mana to play it out on schedule. Keep your pants on. We'll play out the bell and use it to get a 5th land. We grab an island, but what we should have gotten was a mountain. That's fine. What matters is our factory comes down on schedule and we can fire off the Battlefront. They double down on Scalding Viper. It's fine. If they're not able to deal with our Robot Overlords, those Vipers will be nothing but road bumps. We'll grab a mountain here, and then we can sacrifice the bell for a draw before we take our turn. Whoa, let's not play the mountain. We need blue mana. Sure, the Vipers hit us for a point each, but getting the factory down is worth it. On top, we have a land and a helm. Let's move the land to the top, so we draw the land, and the helm will be part of the package we get from the Battlefront. This is what Mono Red has been reduced to. A check to a deck that doesn't really show up too much in best of one. So sad. They follow up with a Needlehead. That's the best they can do, ladies and shark men. They are all bark and no bite. We make a big oopsie-poopsie by dropping in the passage. We'll use it since our play is the Battlefront, no matter what. This is a huge Battlefront, even after messing it up. We have to take at least one factory. The snare will go great, as well as that will let us take out their pincushion. Mono Red has little men to fight against our team of Robot Overlords. They'd better learn to bend knee. On top, we have a land and an extruder. We'll send the land on down, but we can use the extra extruder to put pain down on their men. I don't think Mono Red has the removals to deal with our AI men, and they prove us correct by pooping and scooping. GG's, extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is Rain X. Their wiper blades are so good. No, wait, it's ran through. That's gotta be it. We get a 3-lander with a pair of manufacturing and an extruder. The snare is extra gravy on top. Manufacturing followed up with plenty of artifacts could see us through. Keep. The problem here is we are going to need a plains or mountain to activate our Verge for red mana. They play out a recruit. On its own, it's not much to worry about. If they have a team to follow up with, then that could be a problem. We draw 3 steps ahead, which could let us copy the snare for extra removals. A helm would let us copy the snare token for removals all day, every day. We'll drop in the snare and take out the doll shop. Taking out the recruit would have been good too, but let's start with the doll shop. They play out a Halia, so they've got life gain as well. They're gonna need it. They follow up with a Weaver Saga, which gives them a token. They send it, all we can do is not block. We draw yet another 3 steps ahead. We've drawn one every turn for 3 turns in a row. What are the odds of that? Anyways, we have 0 plays, so we'll pass the turn. They're going for a Gear Hulk, and that at least is something we can do something about. Let's counter it. We finally draw a 4th land, and that will activate the red in our Verge. Better late than never? Let's drop in the extruder and we can snipe their recruit. After this, we can copy up the snare and start taking down their men one at a time. Oh wait, that's double strike. We should have waited and copied the snare. We had some bad draws to muddy the waters. We'll get the smell out of town while the gettin' is good. GG's, bro. This is OB1 Ken OB. No wait, it's Iban Wally Brad. Prepare to fight, bro. We get a 3-lander with a factory, double helm, and a surprise synthesizer. I like it. Keep. They drop in an Enigma Jewel. It's a Sol Ring for artifacts. So a potential mirror match then? Maybe? They play out a Vault, combo enabled. Am I right, bro? We'll go ahead and drop in our manufacturing. Let's get started on making some weapons. We draw another manufacturing, but this turn goes to our factory outlet. They activate their vault when they see our factory coming down. Maybe they want to dig up a counter? They toss out an Ultima. That might mean they are playing Ugin as well. On top we have a land and a bay. Let's grab the land first. That way we have the mana for a surprise synthesizer. They play out everyone's favorite vacuum. When you want to suck, there are no better options. We will let you suck, bro. You can have it. They suck away their Ultima. I'm so impressed I kept my pants on. They have no plays, so now is the time for a surprise synthesizer. Let's crack open these factories. They fire off a reenact the crime and use it to get the knights of round they just tossed. That's cute and all, but this was at the end of their turn. On top we have a battlefront and a bay. We'll take the battlefront first. The bay will be part of the battlefront package. We'll go with the snare. The battlefront would have been fine too, but if they get too many tokens, we won't be able to get through for damages. Let's stink their battleship while the stinking is good. Let's get in there. Delivery is always free. Saving you a ton of cash, bro. You're welcome. They're digging for gold, but maybe they struck the sewer line instead. They poop it and scoop it. Robot Overlords for the win. GG's, extra AI cheese. This is Sonny Bono. We're about to bury a legend. Thanks for coming on the big show. We get a 5-lander. When was the last time you saw this? We've got all the mana we need. This is an insta-keep. Your pants on. We draw another land. Shout out to the shuffler. They play out an authority, but those are usually somewhat bad against our Robot Overlords. It's time to play out the factory outlet. Someone start printing sale signs. Prices will be slashed. On top we have a helm and a surveil land. We'll move the surveil land to the top. The helm will be part of the package deal when we battlefront. They drop in another authority. Those are so good against Sephiroth's Sacrifice, but that's not what we're playing. It's time for our battlefront to show them what's what. We get a helm and an extruder. There are no other choices. These are fine, as the helm can copy our Robot Overlord, and in a few turns we'll have a team worthy of Mordor. Their play is a monument that mills. They'd better hurry up with that mill action. Our Robot Overlords will be multiplying at an alarming rate. We'll go with our second helm, and we'll have the mana to make a copy of our first Robot Overlord. At 9/9, our AI men are no joke. The authorities are not enough to keep up with the life they are about to lose. Damages, bro, damages. They've been thunderstruck. All they can do is poop it and scoop it. GG's extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is giant cardio. No, wait, it's Gia Claudio. Must be Italian. Where's your boob armor, bro? We get a 3-lander with a pair of bays, a snare, and a surprise copy. Not the best hand of all time, but not the worst either. Keep your pants all the way on. Bro must have forgot he started a game. He's busy making an oopsie-poopsie. We get a freebie thanks to the opponent. This cheese was too good anyways. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.